Let the kid earn his keep. We need to know what we're dealing with out there. Oh, that's it. That's 100% it. Hey, it's the Chief, bonding with board games and RPGs, continuing on with the evil Twilight 2000 Krieg. So first of all, please, if you like this at all, thumb it up. If you really enjoy it, subscribe. Some of my numbers been dropping down. I know I'm branching out into RPGs and sometimes, but if you like it, I need those that like it to do those things suggested. Please, if you wish. We're going to start off, so this is another set of 3 episodes with the evil Twilight 2000. Krieg uses the 48 laws of power, one of these laws drawn at random, in order to kind of guide his actions in this process. Hey Siri, select a number between 1 and 48.
That would be 48.
Wow, 48. What is 48? 48 is assume formlessness. By taking a shape, by having a visible plan, you open yourself up to attack. Instead of taking a form for your enemy to grasp, keep yourself adaptable and on the move. Accept the fact that nothing is certain and no law is fixed. The best way to protect yourself is to be as fluid and formless as water. Never bet on stability or lasting order. Everything changes. That's interesting. All right, assume formlessness. Well, that's perfect. Be fluid. Be like the water. I can also hear neighbor mowing. I've got to do that myself later, so we'll just deal with that. This will sit off to the side. Law 48 will guide us in our next 3 episodes. Now, I don't know where everything's going, obviously. We've had the mortar attack just to bring you up on where we were at last time, inside our compound, inside our base. We've got the military contingent in there, 100-some strong. We've got Krieg and a small amount of his contractors, some of which you now know very well, Sanchez and Pacheco. We've got Pacheco kind of almost adopting these 3 orphan kids, age 10, 12, and 16, if I remember right. I believe that's it. Him with his own technical. Who knows what's going on there? We know their background. Please go see past episodes for that. We know there's a power struggle between Major McGiffin, head of the Army group, bringing in all the heavy weapons, the up-armored Humvees, the 2 howitzers that are on the base. And then we got Krieg that basically has some nice gear and knowledge of where gold is in Warsaw. And so far, that's kept him in play. But, he's going to be formless this round. So the first thing I'm thinking, mortars came in, we plotted that out with my fun little map that I made and everything, and I'm going to throw in some photos of the Gniezno and our base area that should be popping in now. The mortars have come in, they've killed, one of them hit the cafeteria kind of entry door area, killed one of the U.S. troops. That has caused a stir. The Gniezno massacre has occurred, led by Krieg, where several probably nationalists with Molotovs were killed, but also some citizens. Conflict has been brewing between the folks of Gniezno, Bartek in particular, stoking those fears, and the compound. This is boiling over. We've had this as a continuing thread for a while. First things first, I think Major McGiffin is incensed with the killing of one of his troops. I think, and I'm going to go to the fate chart, we're at a chaos factor of, we were at 5. Everything was kind of going okay with us. I think this mortar coming in is going to pump it to 6. So we'll do chaos factor 6. And I think he wants to, mortars are usually fairly close. You can tell kind of, well, not always, but a general trajectory can be sometimes figured out. I think he wants to put out a quick reactionary response force to go out there and do some immediate damage, find this mortar team, and kill them. So let's see if that's true. We're using the Mythic Emulator. I want to see, I think this is an order he would do, and I think it's likely that it would be followed through without being stopped. We're at a chaos factor of 6, so I'm going to say this is likely. So we need an 85 or less for this to be a yes, and we have 47, so yes. Major McGiffin comes in, yells for his first sergeant Wilson, and he's like, I want a reaction force now. Go out, find that mortar team, and take them out. The first sergeant, is he going to lead this himself? I don't know. Usually that would be a no, but I have no idea on this. Well, let's go unlikely, chaos factor of 6, which means it's really 50-50. 62, he is not leading this himself, so he points to 2 of his more senior NCOs, says mount up, 2 Humvees, Hunter Killer. Go find that mortar section. What I think is likely to happen here, I don't even need to roll for it. The Bartek, I think, would be trying to draw the troops out of the walled fortress. They're in like their own walled fortress, supported by 2 howitzers, one at the north end, one at the south. Literally walls, trees, and heavy weapons. Bring them out and see if he can kill them. So what's going to happen is this quick reaction force, 2 Humvees, is going to mount up. 50s are on their vehicles, and they're going to head out through the north part of the map. I've got the map up again, showing now. So first I want to see, that's a pretty quick response. We had no pushback at all. And I want to keep this a little bit vague to keep it moving. So I'm not going to dial in. These aren't any of my main characters anyway. I believe everything's building toward an assault on this compound sooner or later. We'll see. But I believe drawing these troops out would be something Bartek would do in order to try to isolate and kill them. But I'm curious first. I don't think they would come under fire right away. Let's go to the cards, I think. So first, I'm kind of curious, do I go with a random event? I don't think that quite fits here. What I do think, I don't know if I don't think a random event with the cards is going to hem me in. Let's do a random event with the Mythic Emulator here under the event meaning action and subject. So I believe Bartek has drawn these guys out. Let's see what happens. We got 2 armored Humvees, a squad out on hunter kill mission. We're going to see what happens here. We've got 45. 45 is celebrate. That doesn't seem. And 68, celebrate rumor. Celebrate rumor. How would you celebrate a rumor? I think the rumor would be from the citizens, and the rumor would be that Bartek is going to be able to defeat these U.S. troops. And as these 2 Humvees come out, I believe it just is again signifying the trap that is about to take place. Celebrate a rumor. Let me go for one more on this, see if I can get any kind of more clarification. 55. Disrupt adversities. All right, so the question is, are we disrupting them or are they disrupting us? Let's go with the first one. Did these Humvees come out so fast that it's disrupting what Bartek's doing? I actually think that is unlikely. Chaos factor 6, 54, just over a no. So yeah, it is not that factor. I think it's the disrupting of adversaries is that Bartek and his crew, it's the reverse. It's the reverse of that. Bartek and his crew planned on a quick response, and they're going to take down an ambush. I want to see, so we're going to, the two Humvees roll out of the front, and let me look at the map. So they pull out of the front gates, and the front guard is stating that they think that they've seen activity and maybe even heard the mortar fire off to the north and east, which is a little bit of a residential area. The Humvees break that way. They get 2 to 3 blocks north into that little area, and they're going to spot something. Now, I'm curious. The level of these cards, ace being like a masterfully pulled off ambush, or 2 being, poorly executed and these troops having a chance to get out of there. We're going to see what that is. So we got fully shuffled here, and you first, king or jack of spade. All right, that's pretty good. We're just 3 down. So they get into these neighborhoods, and what I picture is a couple buses pulling out and blocking off the street. The buses have pulled out. The street is effectively blocked for the Humvees to exit. The Humvees are heavy, they're armored, but they are not able to just go ram a bus and take it out. As soon as the buses pull in front, I picture with 2 Humvees, you would kind of have one group probably doing the rear one with a 180 back to side, and the front one covering the front. I think they're going to try to light these buses up with their 50s. They would, but that's not going to do much, but maybe kill the drivers. Maybe. In the meantime, it's got to be RPG strikes that are coming in. Is it RPG strikes? I think this is going to be a near sure thing at a chaos factor of 6, meaning 95 or less. And that, 94. Wow, it's a yes, but boy, is that a weak yes. All right, 2 RPGs. They must not have enough. 2 RPGs. We're going to give it a yes. So how would we do this? Because we're trying to roll through. All right, we're going to do 50-50. There's an RPG aimed at each of the Humvees. I want to do just 50-50. So, well, no, if we do 50-50, it's 65 at a chaos 6. So, okay. So I don't know what will happen here. The question is, are they able to hit? And then I'm going to go to the cards for the severity of the hit. First Humvee, the Humvee out front, 65. Is it struck? 39. Yes, it is struck. Is the back one struck? 59. Yes, they're both struck. So the ambush is coming off as planned. RPGs quite deadly, especially for Humvees, light armored vehicles. This could be a major problem. So we're going to go with severity here as well. Again, it's 2 meaning that they've been struck, but 2 might mean that the gunner is hit or a wheel is hit. That would still do massive damage, but it wouldn't just destroy the vehicle. Ace means it's a direct hit and the whole thing goes up. So you first. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Wow. First Humvee takes a direct hit with the RPG and just lights it up. Completely destroyed. Driver, gunner, I'm imagining some kind of NCO in the front seat, gone. So let's see the RPG on the vehicle to the rear. Boy, this definitely seems like it's going to be the prelude to celebrate rumor and then attack this base after taking these vehicles out. But let's see. Again, random. This is the vehicle in the back, the Humvee. You first. 2. All right, well, that's good. So what would a 2 be on the Humvee? Something minor. I don't even think it's the wheels. The wheels would be a little more serious. It would fully disable the vehicle. A 2 is the most minor it could get. I don't even think that's the MG gunner. I know I used that before. It's struck, but minor damage. I think a lot of times you're carrying like a spare tire or even some strapped on gear to the back of a Humvee. And whatever's on the back of that Humvee has been struck. But it is still in play. However, can it get out of there? I think it's highly unlikely that it's going to be able to. I mean, it could go off road, obviously, it would have to, and maneuver around. They have to try to break out of this, these 2 buses. I think a Humvee, which is pretty maneuverable, could probably try to get around it by going off the street. We'll just do it unlikely, which means it's 50-50. Are they able to hit the gas, swing by the destroyed Humvee, and break out of this ambush zone? 69, so that is a no. That is a no that they can break out. So there would be reloading of, I think we would have small arms fire coming in, not going to do anything at all to this Humvee. Let's do, there's a reload coming in, 2 more shots. 2 more shots coming in on the Humvee. We're going to see if it gets hit. It's now maneuvering a little more wildly. I picture maybe it realizes it can't get out of the front end and it's pulling a U-turn and trying to work back towards the south. So I think now that the ambush has been triggered, it's going to be a little harder to hit it. The gunner is going to be targeting in on these smoke signatures from these RPGs, but we do have 2. Let's go with unlikely, which actually gives it 50-50. There's going to be 2 more RPG shots. First one is 26. That'll be a hit. The second one fires at 73, misses, but we have 1 RPG hit, and we're going to do the same thing. 2 is going to be another minor hit. They're struck, but we have a problem. We have a problem. You first. 5 of spade. All right, now I think we're getting into, so what would be minor? We could have the RPG punching through the back. That seems a little bit too much. Wheel maybe a little bit too much, but maybe the gunner. Let's do the wheel struck. Simple yes or no, but I want to do it pure 50-50, not even looking at the chart. Wheel struck. 20, yes, the wheel has been struck. A wheel struck. The vehicle is immobilized. I think the 50 gunner's rocking and rolling, but probably time to get out of there. So I think we're going to have troops unloading with their AK-47s, and now that the vehicle is immobilized, they're moving in, and there's going to be another RPG shot. Boy, I think I think that's going to end it. Well, Let's see. I think the troops abandoned. They know the RPG is getting. The RPGs will be targeting in. There's only a short reload time, and it's time to bail out. Are they able to? I want to know the degrees. There's three. There's a gunner, a driver, and the NCO. I want a degree of how well are they able to get out of there. 7. They exit. I think the RP or well, let's roll for each one. That tells me 7, 14, right in the middle. I think we're going to have one guy killed, one wounded. So I'll start doing yeses first. Just simple 50-50. Is the driver killed? 24, yes. So now one of them is wounded. Is the NCO wounded? 18, yes. Is that 50-50? And so then we'll leave the gunner as not. Is the gunner going to just try to run out of this ambush? Does he abandon his NCO? I think this is highly unlikely. I think it's very unlikely with a chaos factor of 45. Does the gunner abandon his NCO? 84. No, he does not. And up 90 would have been an extreme no. He does not abandon him. So then the question is, they can't get out of there. There's bunches of troops coming. Does Bartek take them prisoner? The other option being to kill them on the spot. Chaos factor 6, does Bartek capture them? I think this is a well orchestrated ambush. I think he would be looking to capture at the very least for intel purposes, not to mention everything else he can do with hostages or whatever else. So I think it's very likely that he would have said, hey, I want a captured survivor for intel purposes. So we're going very likely chaos factor 6, meaning I need a 90. Oh, it's 100. Whoa. So 99 was an extreme no. Well, that is, wow. That is self-evident. The inverse of the capture is they're killed. Not what Bartek wanted, but at 100, we're at an extreme no, they're not captured. The troops, I guess their blood is up, and they wade in and completely finish off these 2 prisoners that they could have captured. Wow. That is interesting. All right. So those 2 Humvees are out. The crews are killed. Smoke billows up. I think we come back to Krieg with his 48th law of power. Assume formlessness. That means to me that he's not up in the face of Major McGiffin. He is going to be unseen here. I think he's just going to float into the background on this and let the Major do what the Major would do. I think the Major has realized his error in his haste, and I think he calls his first sergeant over and says, I think he calls his first sergeant over and says, top options. And First Sergeant Wilson says, well, clearly they drew us out and they took those guys down. There's nothing we can do. We're not going to be able to get out there unless we have some kind of heavier armor. I mean, clearly those are RPGs that took them out. I think we've got to get some better intel on what's happening on the outside of the compound. I think Krieg interjects right at that point in time. I know he does. And he does so he's supposed to be like water. Oh, I know what he can do. We've got these orphan kids. And I think Krieg says, what would the evil guy do? I know what he would do. He would say, send that youngest, send the young one out. He points over at the orphan kids that are probably still over hanging out by Pacheco in his technical. Send him out. Send him out at night and see what he can find out. We need to get eyes. We need to get eyes on the problem and report it back to. Let the kid earn his keep. We need to know what we're dealing with out there. So that's it. That's 100% it. I think the question is, well, I don't think Pacheco would like it, but I don't think he would disagree with it either. Yeah, I know Pacheco wouldn't. I mean, you're sending the 10-year-old out. So I see Kanan calling Pacheco over, away from the kids. You got Major McGiffin, you got the first sergeant, and in the background you can see the smoke billowing up to the north and the, north and the west. And Krieg says, Pacheco, it's time for one of the kids. Now, I think he'd say it's time for the youngest kid to earn his keep. I need him to go out and get some eyes on the situation and report back. I think Pacheco, again, I don't think Pacheco disagrees. What's the level of his dislike? A 5. Okay. Pacheco says, the 10-year-old's not ready for that. Pacheco's going to commit the older brother. Leave the 12-year-old here. Send the 10-year-old and the 16-year-old out. Let me chat with him a little bit. I don't disagree. We've got to get eyes on what's going on out in the city. That's a problem. And he points towards the smoke. That's good. We will leave it there. I do picture, though, I have this picture of before they leave. I think Pacheco cares about the kids, and I don't know, maybe maybe it'll open up. I could see him like, you're not going to send these kids out armed, or at least armed with like military gear, because they would immediately be like, where the hell you get M16s and pistols and stuff. I could see him with knives or whatever they could get together, maybe even something from the Marauders. We'll figure that out later. So when we open up the second scene, or the second scene of this set, with Law 48, Krieg being formless like water, Pacheco's going to be doing everything he can to kind of ready the oldest brother, the 16-year-old, with the 10-year-old. Again, I think the idea, Krieg is not well, he's beyond not stupid. He's highly intelligent and sociopathic. You keep the 12-year-old brother there, and not only is it some form of assurancy, but it's a safe place for the one brother as well. Not to mention, if there's a problem, you can still send him out. Yeah, I think that would work. And if there's any kind of, I mean, why would they then rat out the compound with their brother still in there? I believe that is what he would do. So we'll open up the next scene. We'll open up with Pacheco prepping the kids and the dialogue, and then we'll go out and follow these kids. Interesting. We'll have to flesh them out a little bit more. And this will be that will be an intel episode. And I'll have to think about that. We'll just see how that goes. So no combat here with our crew. This was ambush setup, RPG takeout, and we'll see how the next one goes. So, Chief, bonding with board games and RPGs, please give it this, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever. See you guys.